SM102. That can track you. A friend just reported she had one of those fake vaccines.
Because you know how they're doing this, forcing vaccines on people and pushing this vaccine agenda. And we were talking about how Barack Hussein Obama did not vaccinate his own children. That was something we were very vocal about on the channel. And they're pushing this trust the science on us thing. And it's really disgusting when people don't trust the science, which I don't, because I just don't trust government, right? And when government thinks or says they're going to bring something for you to save your life, good luck with that, okay? Now,
slave passports, and went through the thing at the airport for an international flight. What they said to her is, we know you didn't have the vaccine. You know why? Because they got stuff in there to track you.
But not force people to take it. You know, like they're holding my kids hostage in a way where if they want to go get an education or go to school, they're going to need to have their vaccine card fully filled out. And then, hold on. And then they're talking about travel. Right? So the whole travel thing, right? So it's these guys at these Rockefeller meetings and Davos meetings and these meetings that they have around the world that they basically exclude a lot of people, and they basically plan these diabolical. This also ties into another video we made about transhumanism and my biggest fear of transhumanism and how transhumanism is going to change.
Also, I just learned from Dr. Ryan Cole that in order to get the mRNA into your cells.
Now, this was published on January 12th, 2018. And I really want to talk about this because I believe this is a major pivot in what they're concocting or planning for us. Okay, it's it's not an article. It's a medical journal that was published. It says mRNA vaccines, a new era and technology. Now, this is kind of scary because when I searched up transhumanism and altering DNA and altering our way, I believe that they are coming out with this, and I actually came to the conclusion that this goes back to the 90s. Okay, so I've never heard of this. If you have heard of this before, just go ahead and comment below and let me know, okay? So, now we did our transhumanism altering man, and this currently will alter our DNA. I took notes on this one, guys, because I feel it's very important. So, recent improvements in mRNA vaccines act to increase protein translation, modulate innate and adaptive immunogenicity, and improve delivery.
They needed to change something in your immune system so that it would no longer recognize the fake mRNA, the synthetic mRNA, as an invader. So there's a thing called toll-like receptors. They changed one nucleotide.
mRNA vaccines have elicited potent immunity against infection diseases, targets animal rodents, influenza virus, Zika virus, rabies virus, and others, especially in recent years, using lipid encapsulated or naked form sequence optimized or mRNA. So I looked up the lipid encapsulation, and that has to do with a lot of, it's more of a particle release that I think is, I don't want this in me. I don't know if you want it in you.
And it then shuts down your innate immunity. And so what we're seeing in medicine is you get the shot and you get shingles comes back up. People who are in remission from cancer are getting cancer. It is overwhelming. Okay.
So Moderna it has been reporting that gene therapy technology DNA. So they're using diverse approaches to mRNA cancer vaccines, including dendritic cell vaccines and various types directly injectable mRNA. So they want to inject this, right? Have been employed in numerous cancer clinical trials with some promising results showing antigen-specific T-cell response, and prolonged disease-free survival in some cases. This is really scary stuff, folks, because I don't think... Now, I found something else out. Let me get to my point here. In one of these write-ups here, I want to bring up for you guys. Then it goes into... Acid therapeutics have emerged as promising alternative to controversial vaccine approaches. The first report was successful. So it goes into 1992, demonstrated that the administration of vespericin encoding mRNA in the hypothalamus could elicit a psychological response in rats. However, these early promising results did not lead to substantial investment in development in mRNA therapeutics.
Okay. They also contain kidney fetal DNA, optic nerve, or I think it's something from the eye of an aborted fetus, and something from the lung of an aborted fetus.
There you go.
Now, there's this other part here. Now, I printed off another one for you guys. This one here is kind of important. This one is from, this is volume 22, issue 9, 27th of February 2018. Okay? These are pages 227 to pages 235. So there's a lot of pages in this one, okay? But I got to the point, okay? And it has to do with the lipid that we talked about earlier, and it has to do with the mRNA. So a single administration of CRISPR Cas9 lipid nanoparticles achieve a robust, persistent in vivo genome editing. So what is this doing? They're hijacking your DNA. This is vivo genome editing. They're hijacking your DNA, folks. This is exactly what they're doing here, and this is the development clinically viable delivery methods presents. So they keep going on with this delivery methods, right? Delivery methods presents one of the greatest challenges in the therapeutic application of the CRISPR Cas9. So
also contains polyethylene glycol. 70% of people are allergic to it, so it creates anaphylaxis. The other thing that they have is polysorbate 80. This is an emulsifier to get things across the blood-brain barrier.
Mediated genome editing. So they're altering your DNA. This is gene therapy crap. Why do you have to alter your DNA for? Why are they? And then on top of that, they're forcing us on this and have vaccine cards for our kids to go to school. Right? So here we report the development of lipid nanoparticles. Now, the problem with the lipid nanoparticles, what I've been kind of looking at and kind of making sense of, I'm realizing that they don't exhaust through your body, or they don't leave your body for some reason, right? Oh, hey, Calvin, how's it going? Yeah, we don't have much people. We have 44 people watching here, guys. So I'm going into this dangers and how I'm thinking that they're gonna, I really believe that they're gonna, like, put this in all our, the vaccines that they're pushing us to take. Like, my kid is like, well, what do I do with my, I don't want to vaccinate my kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm not for this, especially when they're doing this technology. Yeah, it's been around since the early 90s. What are we, 2018? What is that? 93. So it's been around a while, but I don't trust any of this garbage. So listen to this. Our work demonstrates that the LPN system can deliver CRISPR Cas9 components to achieve clinically relevant levels of the vivo genome editing. So it's editing your DNA. So now this is very dangerous. Now, if they want to edit your DNA, we got ourselves a tiny bit of a problem here.
That the blood-brain barrier given to you by God,
Our DNA has junk DNA. And that junk DNA that we don't know or we're trying to decipher or figure out, that DNA is a code. That is the veil that is put on us when we come here. We're put on with a veil. And that DNA code sequencing actually ties into our soul. Yes, it's like a fingerprint. It's like, I know this sounds weird, but before we came here, we actually chose a lot of things. We actually set ourselves up here before we got here. And this allowed That code that's in there is basically our life story that we can't decipher. Oh, one day you'll decipher it, Mike, and then you'll be wrong. Trust me, there's a lot going on that they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you nothing. And if they do decipher it, they won't tell you anyway. Why would they? Right? And why do they want to alter our DNA for? Why do we need gene therapy for? DNA therapy. This is crazy. So let's move on.
Is supposed to keep out. They
Right.
also contain spions. This is magnification, magnetic iron oxide particles.